All right, Terry, we got King Mo here. You know, he's been working on his wrestling skills, but everyone wants to know, how are those MMA skills going to translate over to professional wrestling? First of all, I'd like to know from you, what kind of guy is going to present Mo the biggest challenge? Is it a guy like, you know, a guy that has a fighting background or can like street fight, but maybe he's bigger, like a Samoa Joe type? Or is it a Jeff Hardy kind of guy that gives a skill set that Mo's never seen, you know, a high flyer type guy?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about, you know, this gentleman that sits to my left here is that, you know, even though professional wrestling might be new, he's no stranger to the sport of wrestling. You're talking about a man who has wrestled at the highest level, at the collegiate and the world level. You know, we're talking about a gold medal winner, a Big 12 winner, a man who perfected and fell in love with the sport of wrestling and knows how to do it just as well as anybody else that's out there. Now, how does that translate in? You add the fact that not only does he have the technical skill, but now he's got the attitude and the anger. We all know what happens. When that man throws this right hand right here, he throws it with evil intentions. And let me tell you folks, I've been sitting here for 2 days watching what this man does behind the scenes, and he's ready. Now, as far as who he matches up with in TNA, the sky's the limit. Could he go there with the Samoa Joe? That would be an awesome match. You have two people who have that martial arts, that MMA, that background that would go in there, and I think that'd be a fantastic fight. Jeff Hardy presents another challenge. He's that high flyer, that quickness. But don't let this man fool you. And I don't mean to speak for you, but don't let this man fool you with his size. He's a very fast and dangerous man. So Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode. I'd love to see him in the ring with an Austin Aries or a Bobby Roode. I'd love to be able to see him in there doing that. I think there's nobody at TNA that he couldn't have a fantastic match with. Whether that he comes out on top, could be depending on the night, because anything can happen. It only takes 3 seconds.
Well, now you're. We'll talk TNA in a second specifics, but you're an OVW guy. Mo, you've been on an OVW. Let's have you throw out a few names of OVW guys. Tell us how you think they would present unique challenges for Mo, and then Mo, how do you think you match up with them? So we'll start with you, Terry. Throw out a name. Wait, I want to start first. Timmy Danger.
Well, you know, when it comes to Timmy Danger, you know, we kind of have an alliance. You know, I wouldn't like to, you know, really have a match with him. I'd like to work alongside with Timmy Danger.
You want to be represented by Timmy Danger, the world's most dangerous hype man?
Hey, Timmy Danger, he's legit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
right? I'm sorry. Yeah, Eddie Diamond.
Eddie Diamond, you know, I like to, you know, be maybe a partner, you know what I'm saying? Tag team partner of some sort. Eddie Diamond, yeah, Eddie Diamond is live.
The elite, the Diamond Elite. I can see that team forming right now.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool. Now with that, then you'd have to go after the tag team champions. Right now, the tag team champions are Muhammad Ali Baez and Michael Hayes. How do you think that you fare with either one of those?
Oh, you know, Michael Hayes is a tough dude, but I'd make him quit. I'd make him tap out. You know, Muhammad Ali, you know what? I'll put these things to him, and he ain't rope-a-doping me. Put it like that.
And then you start making your way up. You look at the other champions. We've got the television champion, Dylan Bostic, right
Oh,
now.
my goodness. How dare you mention Dylan Bostic's name to me? Dylan Bostic, I would kill that kid. I'd kill him. That'd be easy. 1, 2, 3. Very easy.
With all due respect to you, Mr. Bostic, yeah, I'd agree. And then we start making our way up with the other challengers that are there. But ultimately, it goes to the OVW heavyweight champion, who is Jamin Olivencia.
Okay, now that's where I'm going to have to train hard, because he's legit.
He is Mr. 200%.
You know, he's electrifying. He's very charismatic, very agile, very powerful, even though he's kind of small. He's deceptive, but I would train hard to kick his ass. You know, it's you bring up Jamin, Olivencia. He's up here. Now, Bostic is right here. Then you got Assassin above him. Then you got Rob Terry. You got everybody else in the mix, but don't ever bring up Bostic's name. Now, Olivencia, okay, I have to train hard for him. That would be in his favor. Maybe 60-40 in his favor. But after a few weeks of training with Trash and, you know, some of the guys, you know, Rip Rogers and those guys out there, Mr. Davis, I think they could be my favorite, 75-25.
Well, I think it'd be an interesting match should that opportunity happen, whether it's for a championship or not. I think that presents a very intriguing matchup with the styles, because Jamin does have that anger and that fire, and he brings a little bit of a martial arts background.
But he brings a little bit. He's pretty knowledgeable. He's trained a little bit jiu-jitsu. I've actually rolled around with him a little bit, and just rolling around, I controlled him, but he has some knowledge of submission skills and some knowledge of striking. So, I'd have to be a little bit more discreet on my techniques and set him up properly to execute on him.
Hey, same question I asked him about you, Mo. Who do you think gives you is it the big, strong guy who has maybe a MMA style background, or is it the high flyer, something that you're not as used to?
I don't think it's either. I think it's someone that plays great, is great with the psychology. Somebody like Bobby Roode, somebody like Austin Aries, even as much as I hate to say it, my boy Jesse Goddard. As much as him, Mr. Spectacular, yes. He plays great mind games.
He does.
He gets in your head and he gets you out of your game plan. So those three guys I've named, guys like that are the guys that I'd have to, be very focused with. Even like guys like Paradise. Paradise, that's an enigma right there. He's just weird. He's out there, but he's the type of guy that will get you out your game plan,
yes,
and make you want to just kill him, and then he sneaks you with the 1, 2, 3, just like the body guy. I had a great encounter with him. I pinned him, but you know what? He's a sneaky rat.
Yes.
Wannabe ravishing Rick Rude, but when you see him, you want to break his neck. But you understand, when you see him and you step in the squared ring with him, he's not that easy to handle.
He's definitely those are definitely some interesting matchups. When you take a look at OVW guys, you have Paradise, you have a Rudy Switchblade, a man who can do all the techniques. The list goes on and on of the people that you could pose and have an interesting match with.
Well, let's throw a couple TNA names out there. Terry, we'll get your thoughts first, and then Mo. Well, let's start with the guy that's got more of a wrestling background than you, Kurt Angle. So
that would be it from a fan perspective, and that's how I'm going to bring it. Being the fan advocate, I'm going to be from a fan perspective. I think Kurt Angle and this man right here would be a fantastic match. You're talking about two Olympic caliber wrestlers, a gold medalist on the Olympic level, a champion at the Pan American and the World Games and the collegiate level, and this man here. You talk about people who have been at that highest level, and they bring that excellence and passion into it. Who comes out on top?
Me. I've studied a lot of film, on Mr. Angle. He's had a few matches with Cubans. I know his weakness. I know his strengths. I think that, a match with him, I would get him. I'm more current with my wrestling techniques, and I feel like, I could pin him.
all right, let's throw out a guy there that maybe passed his physical prime a little bit, but he's been in the business so long, been completely the top of the sport. How about Sting? A guy that's got all that experience, all that knowledge.
I think that from a fan's perspective, that's another dream match that's there. I can only imagine.
And that's one of Mo's favorite guys, too.
I can only imagine. I know that growing up, you were a Sting fan. You were a Sting fanatic.
I would not want that match. But if the match would have happened, I know his weakness. The green mist. Because every time he faced Ray Luther, the mist always hit his eyes, and he always got rolled up and pinned. So I know I'd use that green mist, spray in his eyes, and get that 1, 2, 3.
All right, what about a guy we mentioned a little bit earlier, but Samoa Joe?
Wow. To see you guys in that match would be I think out of everybody right now, I think that would probably be the one. And granted, he's with the new Main Event Mafia. That's all part of the family now. But I think from a fan perspective, that'd be fantastic.
I'd want it, but I'd have to wait till the Main Event Mafia disbanded because I'm not trying to get beat up by those 4 tough men.
Here's one that's interesting to me, probably my favorite one, and I know him and Mo are tight, but you know how wrestling is. Everybody's your friend one week, and a couple months later, you're going at it. So another guy lives out here in Vegas, your buddy Kenny King.
The former X Division champion.
Okay, that right there, that'd be a tough one for me because he has a Taekwondo background, high flyer,
yes,
big guy, very agile, very flexible, and he can play mind games with you. I'd need a little more training to deal with him. we're familiar with each other. We're pretty familiar with each other as well. So I need a little more time to add to my arsenal if I was going to handle him.
Let's throw two more out there. How about one guy that's really big and maybe not as mobile as you, Rob Terry? What do you think, Terry?
Wow, I mean, Robbie T, 6'7", 325 pounds, 3% body fat, and the man can flat out go. In one match in OVW, he took out and eliminated 29 other men to be able to get to a spot. Went almost or just about an hour in the ring. You don't see that out of a man that big. Does it present a challenge? Absolutely. We talked about Jamin Olivencia. Those two just had a fantastic match a month ago, and it was taken to the limit. Jamin came out on top. Does that translate to this man coming out on top? Depends on the fight.
I'll have to watch footage on that, study that match. Because, there are weaknesses. Everybody has a weakness. But, if I were to go against, Robbie T, I would have to break him down. Go after a leg, an arm, and work on that body part till it's rendered useless. I can't just go out there and match him strength for strength or size for size. But I have to use this. And that's one thing. The mind can defeat him.
All right, and then the last one, we'll let you guys pick. Let's do like a faster guy, like a Suicide, Danielson, or
any of the X division?
yeah, so someone, one of the high flyers.
Rockstar Spud.
Rockstar Spud. Yeah.
Rockstar Spud, TNA British Boot Camp winner, guy who is making a big name for himself here in LVW and going on to the TNA Impact scene. A guy who brings a lot of heart. It's who personifies the statement. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. He is somebody that can definitely go. With all due respect to you, Mr. Spud, with all your experience and everything, if he ties you up, you're done.
And somebody that has a speed advantage on you, he'll try to use the speed advantage, but timing defeats speed. And I feel like, studying Rockstar Spud, I feel like I'd be able to time him and get him down, block a submission hold of some sort, because I'm a man of many submission holds. If I touch him with a body shot, he's going down. I feel like I have the definite advantage in that matchup, except for speed. But for timing and everything else, speed and experience. But for timing and just my overall arsenal, I think I'd be too much for him.
And just last thing, when can we see? Is after this fight you're going to be heading back down? When can the fans in OVW expect to see you back down there?
People at OVW, the wrestlers, fans, I will be back there after my match. After I kick Noe's ass, I'll be back there in Louisville, Kentucky, kicking some more ass.
Oh, and forgive me, I left the most obvious one out there, so I'm going to have to ask one more question. In a wrestling match, it's going to happen. You and Rampage, we didn't even. How can we not mention that?
From a fan perspective, who knows that goes beyond just a wrestling ring. You're talking about two people who have been champions in multiple sports, and to bring those two together, if it happens, I still think this man comes out on top. And I'm not saying this because he's sitting right here and could snap me into like 82 pieces. I just think he could be on top. I think Mr. Jackson would be in trouble.
He'd be in trouble.
With all due respect, Mr. Jackson.
Now, he has to go through wrestling school first, but I'm going through wrestling school as well, so I'd have the experience advantage. I'd have the arsenal advantage as well, and the psychological advantage.
Do you think we see that before? Do you think we see that before or after we see that for real in Bellator, if at all?
I have no idea. It's up to Spike TV, Viacom, and Bellator and TNA.
Be a fun match to see. And then the very, very, very last thing, a little bit out of TNA realm, my apologies, but I noticed, Mo, I believe your favorite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair. And when you came into TNA your first time, you were wearing a robe. So I want to know who wears a robe better?
Actually, Bobby Roode wears a pretty damn good robe. Bobby Roode's robe, I saw it and I wanted to steal it from him.
So you're going to take some lessons from him or maybe borrow his wardrobe?
No, I'm going to do it with Frederick Lamar. He's going to make me my next robe.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Terry, anything else signing off?
Hey, guys, all I can tell you is that it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter when, whether it's on Spike TV, whether it's at a TNA Impact live show, OVWrestling.com, or in Louisville when we're on WBNA Channel 28, you get a chance to see this man in action. Take advantage of it. This is a champion. This is a man who is eager to learn, and as I said before, what this right hand can do, deadly.
Anything from you, Mo?